step is now going to the individual planning application, HFM application, and then look into further details. Okay, dimension library and how to go to create dimensions, then the associations, then your setup language, and then the organization. Okay, organization library. So dimension library, as you know, this is a shared library and the application component. So from here, you pick whichever dimensions you require, and then you take it to your application.
Okay.
So as financial management system administrator, like you have access to the shared dimension library, and you create and manage applications by using your EPMA. You drag and drop the dimensions that required from shared library and put it into your application.
Okay.
Now, when you create the application, first it will create the application on a dimension server. There you will set up the dimension metadata, and once after that you deploy the application, and then it will create the application in HFM server. Okay. So as like the same thing for planning also. So initially when you create the application, it goes in the dimension library. Then you deploy it, it will go to the relevant server, HFM or planning server.
Yep.
So after you deploy an application, you change any of the application member, or it will not be impacting. To impact, suppose you are changing member property, so that change you need to do in your like dimension library, not in your application library. Okay.
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 But application library allows make a change. You should not do it. But if if somebody accidentally does it, then you can always change the property in application.
Right. Because if a member is shared and you are changing the member property from the application level, it will not impact.
Correct.
You have to change it from a shared library.
Correct.
So in a shared library, like you can have the same set of members shared between planning and HFM application.
Yeah.
So that is the beauty of having a shared library. So this is kind of reducing the maintenance, because once you change the dimension member property, the change will automatically reflect into both the applications. Okay. Suppose if you add one of the member under FM entity, that will automatically go to both the applications.
Yeah.
When you delete a member, it will also directly go from both the applications. Okay. So this is the way, if you want to try to sync your applications, you can do that. So here you will create the dimensions. Now in dimension library there are properties of because there are multiple dimensions through which you will need to associate the dimensions. Like say scenario has start period, end period. So for that you need to associate the scenario with period dimension. So this is how you will set that. You select the dimension and then create association. You select the existing property. Suppose for entity you create the existing property as currency, and then associate that with the global currency dimension. Okay. So this is how you will create the association between different dimensions.
So association part, I did not understand. So for currency, so what you're doing is you are associating your various entities.
So association, it is nothing but it's a concept of EPMA part. Association is nothing, see, every entity has a property called currency, right? Right? Every entity has a property called currency. So for that currency, you need to have the details of the currency dimension. So for that, in shared library or the shared library, it is a concept that you need to associate those properties with the relevant dimension. Otherwise, it will not pick up the members of those dimensions.
Okay.
So for that purpose, you need to associate dimensions. Like here, you are associating a property of one dimension with the members of other dimension. That's how the association comes.
Okay.
But once you deploy it, it goes by the member property. Okay.
Okay. Not able to understand the concept, but let's go.
It is not very like complicated concept. It's a okay. What is your confusion? Like, see, it's a member of entity dimension, okay, which is a currency member. Sorry, what I am saying. The property of entity dimension, which is a currency, and you are associating that with the currency dimension.
So I would think that that association should be out of the box, right? That if for an entity is nothing but my company, right? Company, subsidiaries, whatever.
Right.
So if my entity is in UK, it has got currency as GBP, or in US it is USD. So there is definitely a property called currency there. So
yes,
I am associating that with a currency dimension, and I'm just saying create association. All I'm doing is just tying it to the currency dimension.
exactly, because it is properties, because once you develop the application, your dimension name could be different, right? So suppose your currency, you are saying that you have a global currency dimension, which is actually holding all the currency details. What you are trying to do is just linking your property with the dimension.
Okay.
Rest of the part system will automatically do.
Right. So what would be the other example of association?
Say scenario which has start period, end period. You have alias. Alias is a separate dimension, but for every account or entity, you have alias member. So that need to be associated with the alias dimension.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So these are the properties of the dimension which you need to just associate with the relevant dimension.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Like this one, for the alias dimension holds the languages, right? French, English, and all these things. But in your case, in every account, there is an alias member, alias property.
Yeah.
So that alias need to be associated with your alias dimension.
Okay.
Okay. So that if required, you can put a alias, French alias of that member or English alias of that member.
Okay, so I have a question here. Remember in planning, we changed the internet property, properties of Internet Explorer to show the application in French.
Yes.
So was that so that changed only the boilerplate text. That is the text appears on menu or on the column heading or row heading, right? But
true. Yes.
You have to change a metadata value, that is,
exactly.
It says revenue, instead of revenue you want to call that in French. Then that you can. So all you have to do is just enable that language. That's all. You don't have to actually have data in the French, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
No. You have to associate. You have to put that value, what you call revenue in French, that need to put as that value of that French alias of that member.
So you have to put that value.
Yes.
Okay.
System will not convert that value.
Okay. Got it.
There is no internal converter which will convert the language of revenue to French. You need to anywhere put the value,
Okay.
What you need to do is, from application perspective, you just enable that alias as French.
Okay.
Then it will display those members which are put in that language.
So this is a dimension net. So this is a dimension member net profit. Right? Net profit is a dimension member, and net profit has an alias called net profit, and you have associated that to language, and in the alias you have to type in English net profit, and in French you have to type resultant net. So
Yes.
that value you have to give. It will not come out of
Yes.
Got it.
It will not come out of automatically. Yeah.
Okay. But when would it know which alias to show English, or I mean we associated it to the language.
No, that will that will be based on user preference. There's a member called there's an application property called user preference. If user says that I need the application alias to be used the French, it will use the French aliases.
And only if it doesn't find a French alias, then it will show English by default, or no?
No. If it does not, if you select your preference as French and it does not have anything in the French alias, it will not display that member. It cannot come back to English.
Oh, okay. Oh, it will not
It will
display
be blank. It will be blank.
Okay, got it.
Because it is changing the entire setting, right?
Yeah. No, I got it.
If you do not have the value, it will not have the value. You need to put the value.
Oh, but the data will appear, right?
Data will appear without heading. Yeah.
No.
Now in shared library, you can filter also. You can, if there is a big shared library, then you can search by dimensions. Like, give me the dimension which has starting with FM. It will give you all the dimension. Okay, it's just a feature of shared library.